Setting up an effective study habit can be a challenge, but today I'm going to cover a new acronym for you, conveniently called STUDY, that's going to help you begin to study like a pro, whether you're in high school or in college. Hey guys, my name is Justin Collard, founder of Thrive Success Services, and I am dedicated to helping you discover your own version of success. And the first thing you need to do in order to be successful when setting up a new study schedule is to set up your resources and goals. You see, if you just sit down and start to study, you're really not going to get much accomplished if you didn't make a plan ahead of time. You need to figure out what it is you actually need to study to be successful. Are you studying for a short-term quiz that's only going over a couple of the day's lessons? Are you going over a midterm that's going to cover a unit or two? Are you doing a final exam that's going to expect you to know everything that you ever learned in the course? Knowing what to study is one of the most important things you can do before you actually start the process of studying. Once you know what you need to study, you need to gather all the resources. Some helpful things are any test reviews that your teacher or professor has given you, any worksheets or assignments that you've done in the past, any quizzes or tests that you've taken in the past, especially those answers that you didn't get right. Those are great things to restudy. And also all of those assigned readings that you definitely did, right? It's also very important that you understand what type of test you're taking. There's a huge difference between taking a test that's all multiple choice and a test that has an essay on it. And the last thing you need to do is set your study goals. How much time do you need to study this material? Is it something that you understand and you're only going to need to study a little bit each day to retain the information? Or is it a more challenging subject, something that you're really going to have to dedicate some time to be successful on? The next step in setting up an amazing study schedule for yourself is time management. I can't stress this enough. If you don't manage your time, you will never sit down to study. So let's look at some ways that you can do that. The first thing you got to know is, when is the test? When is the quiz? When is that thing that you're studying for going to actually happen? If you don't know, check your syllabus or the calendar in your teacher's classroom. Otherwise, you can simply just ask the teacher. They'll be happy to tell you. Once you know the date of the test, then you can work backwards by counting how many days you have in order to study for the test. So let's say you have 10 days. Well, maybe you want to study for 45 minutes each day for the next 10 days. Pick something that you either didn't comprehend the first time, a reading that you didn't read about the first time, or maybe go back and do some corrections on some of those quizzes that you didn't get correct. That's a great way to study. One suggestion though is, don't waste time rereading or reworking problems that you already know, because you want to make sure that you get the stuff that you don't know before the test comes up. The third tip in creating a study plan is to utilize different techniques. We all work in different ways. For example, when I would study for tests, I would write down all the information on index cards, but then I would never actually use them to review. Just the act of writing helped me learn the material. You also have digital technology at your hands with Quizizz and Quizlet and Kahoot and all those other types of things that you can do to create resources to study for yourself. You can also consider utilizing a study group if studying with friends is something that will be beneficial. One caution on study groups though, make sure that you're actually studying the material for the test and not just socializing. That kind of defeats the purpose of a study group. Tip number 4 is to drill and revise. You want to try to remember some of those important facts and formulas and information that you need in order to be successful on your next test. One of the things you can do is do what I'm doing here. Create an acronym that helps you remember something. STUDY, in this case, stands for the steps that we're taking in order to make a great study plan. Tip number 5 is make your final preparations. On the next to last days of your study schedule, make sure that you're only reviewing those things that you need to know in order to be successful, and then think about creating a test day routine. What are the things that you need to be successful? Well, you're probably going to need some good sleep, something to eat so that you're full, some water so that you stay hydrated, and any materials like calculators and pencils and whatever else you need in order to be successful on that test day. If you set all that up the night before your test, when you wake up, you just have to roll into your action plan and you'll have a much smoother day. So there you have it. There are my 5 tips to become a better student when it comes to studying for your exams. This will work whether you're in high school or in college, and if you found value in this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share it with somebody else who would find this to be beneficial. If you're interested as well and you're on the college journey, I have a free checklist down below that's going to help you prioritize the steps to getting into college. It is my gift to you for you being awesome and checking out this video all the way to the end. So please, I hope that you'll click that link, you'll check that out, and you can get started on your success pathway to getting into college. Again, my name is Justin Collard with Thrive Success Services, and remember, don't just exist, thrive.